Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So today I'm going to share with you another tag video, and I know there have been a lot of tags on my channel, but there are a lot of interesting tags going around and I really enjoy filming these, so I hope you don't mind and you're enjoying watching them. Now, this tag was created by the beautiful Moon from Moon Perfumes, and she tagged me to do this video. If by some chance you're not familiar with Moon's channel, you absolutely have to check it out. She is one of the nicest people that I have met here on YouTube. She is beautiful, she creates amazing videos and just has the most positive energy around her. So I highly recommend you check out her channel. Of course, it will be linked in the description. And thank you, Moon, for tagging me. Now, she created a very challenging tag, at least for me, where I have to choose my 5 most favorite designer fragrances and 5 most favorite niche fragrances. And of course, considering the size of my collection, this is not an easy task. But I told her that I will accept this challenge, and I have made my choices. And of course, I could have chosen many other fragrances from my collection. So let's start with my 5 choices for designer fragrances. And of course, many of these will not come as a surprise if you have been watching my channel. Especially the first fragrance that I'm going to choose, or I have chosen already. This is a fragrance that I have been wearing and loving for many years. This is not my first bottle. Fragrance I'm talking about is Flora Botanica by Balenciaga. I absolutely love this fragrance. It is, of course, about rose, but it's a very interesting, very unique type of rose in my opinion. The rose in here is kind of dry and slightly herbal type of rose. There are notes of mint and cannabis in this fragrance, although I cannot smell cannabis, but mint definitely comes through. This is what adds the herbal nature to this rose, but overall it is just so beautiful. And for those of you that love rose, I would definitely recommend trying this one. This is definitely my absolute favorite rose scent. Second one will not come as a surprise either. This is Cinema from YSL. As you know, I've mentioned it many times. This is again one of my favorite scents. This smells like a warm, very sweet cup of tea, although there is no tea note in here, but that's what I get out of this fragrance. So it's warm, sweet tea with some clementines added in. This fragrance is very sophisticated. It is sort of understated. It is, in a way, a quiet type of fragrance, but at the same time, it really makes a statement. I think you or anyone around you can definitely smell this fragrance. It is just beautiful. So Cinema from YSL absolutely had to be on this list. Now, before I show you the next fragrance, I want to mention a couple of things about some of my choices. Now, as you all know, many of the designer houses have private collections like Maison, Lancome, Maison Dior, etc. And I don't know for sure where these private collections fall. Are they considered niche or are they considered designer? But the way I approached it is, because these are still part of a designer house, I decided to include them in my top designer fragrances. So the next one I have is from Maison Lancome, which is a line that you know I absolutely love, and I could have chosen quite a few from this line, but I decided to go with Lavandis Treon. And the reason I chose this one is because this was kind of a unexpected and surprising discovery and love for me this year. because lavender is a very tricky note for me. I very often don't enjoy lavender in a fragrance, but in this one, it is absolutely stunning. So the notes in here are milk, vanilla, and lavender, and it feels like I'm eating a sugar cookie sprinkled with lavender. Absolutely beautiful, delicious, has an amazing performance, as do most of the fragrances from this line, and so that's why it is included in my top 5 list. Next one is fragrance from another private collection, and this is from a house that I've heard referred to as a designer house, but I've also heard it being referred to as a niche house, and I honestly don't know what it's supposed to be technically, but I've always considered it a designer house, and so this is a fragrance from the private line, and that's why I'm including it here as well. I'm talking about Angelique Noir from Guerlain. This is another stunner. This is a vanilla fragrance, but it is a very green vanilla. It has Angelica, it has vanilla, it has pear. It also has some other floral notes, and this is just a very, again, sophisticated, understated, gentle type of vanilla, very enveloping type of scent. It is very, very beautiful. This is not a beast. If that's what you're looking for, this is not about this fragrance. This is a gentle fragrance with a gentle performance, but I really don't mind it in this case because it is just so beautiful. This is probably my favorite fragrance from Guerlain's private collection, or this private collection. I know there are a few. So Angelique Noir is definitely on this list. And the last one in the designer category is from Paco Rabanne. This is Olympia. This is another stunning scent. This is of course about sea salt and vanilla. So you get this amazing combination of sweet and salty, but I think it is done in such a beautiful way where it is sweet, but it is not too sweet, and it is salty, but again, not too salty. It's just perfectly blended together, and you get this amazing combination of sweet and salty. In my opinion, this is kind of a universal scent that will be perfect for any time of the year and any occasion. I absolutely love it and wear it very often, and I think this has become a staple in my collection. So now let's move on to my choices of 5 niche fragrances, which, to be honest, were even harder to choose than my top designer picks because I love so many. And the way I decided to approach it is I've chosen a couple that are not going to be surprises at all because these are fragrances that I've spoken about many times and mentioned them as my favorites. Then I've chosen a couple that maybe I haven't talked about as much or haven't talked about as much in recent time, but they're still absolute favorites in my collection. And then I have one fragrance that I have never mentioned on my channel before because it's a very new acquisition that has quickly become one of my top favorites. So I had to include it on this list. But let's start with the fragrances that you're probably expecting to see here. And of course, number 1 that I have to mention is Nishan Ani. Yes, I've shown it many times. Yes, I've talked about it many times, but I have to put it on this list because I am absolutely obsessed with this fragrance. There is something magic about it to me. So this is a fragrance that opens up with a blast of ginger and citruses, which I know some find somewhat sharp or some find masculine. To me, I absolutely love the opening, and then it settles into amazing, beautiful, creamy, buttery vanilla that is just out of this world vanilla. There is something so special about it. I absolutely love the opening. I absolutely love the dry down, and this is why it is one of my top picks and absolutely had to be on this list. The second one that again won't come as a surprise is Sunshine from Amouage. There are a lot of notes in this fragrance, but two of the most prominent notes to me are white tobacco and osmanthus. So you get that kind of gentle light smoke from white tobacco, and then you get osmanthus, which to me smells like apricots. So I'm getting kind of a smoky, sweet apricot jam. It is delicious. It is so beautiful. This one is definitely a beast. And again, I've heard from some of you that this one doesn't perform well. It just shows you how differently fragrances behave on different skins with different body chemistry. For me, this is definitely a beast. Performance is absolutely outstanding. Lasting power is amazing. Production is amazing. Sillage is amazing. It is just an amazing fragrance all around, so I had to include it here. Next, I have a fragrance from Tatiana Terenzi, and there is a fragrance from this house and this particular collection that have been talked about a lot in recent times. I'm talking about Andromeda. A lot of people seem to be talking about it, reviewing it, hauling it, and it is really nice. I've tried it, but my favorite from this collection from Tatiana Terenzi is actually Cassiopeia. So that's the one that I've included in here. This fragrance is about passion fruit. Passion fruit comes out very, very strongly. And we also have sandalwood, we have tonka, musk, we have some other floral notes. But really, it's a very sweet passion fruit. But it's not very sort of strong in your face passion fruit. It's sort of very gentle and very airy. And it's just stunning fragrance. It is more suitable for warm weather, and I've worn it quite a lot during the summer, and I will be wearing it again next year. So if you're interested in this house and if you like sweet fruity type of scents, I would strongly recommend trying this one. Next, I have a fragrance from Wilhelm Perfumery, and no, it is not Mango Skin, it is Poets of Berlin. And I've included this fragrance because it is definitely one of my top favorites, but it is also very interesting fragrance to me in the way that it develops on my skin and the stages that it goes through. So the main notes in here are vanilla, blueberries, bamboo, and sandalwood. And when I first spray it on my skin, I get blueberries, but they're not very strong, they're not very sweet. They're actually kind of mixed with some green element which comes from bamboo, I'm guessing. And as it starts developing on my skin, the sweetness is coming out more. So somewhere in the middle, I sort of get these blueberries sprinkled with sugar. And then after a couple of hours, the sweetness is in full bloom now, and you get strong vanilla, you get strong blueberries, and I feel like I have a bowl of slightly melted vanilla ice cream with blueberries sprinkled on top and with some sugar on top of blueberries. It is so delicious and so incredibly beautiful, and again, kind of an addictive type of scent, and I really enjoy the development of this scent, the very distinctive stages that it goes through, and that's why I had to include it on this list. And now we've come to the last one, and it's a fragrance that I have never talked about before, and that is because it is very new to my collection. But even though it is new, it has very quickly become one of my top favorite fragrances. The fragrance I'm talking about is from Atelier des Ors, and it is called Rouge Sarré. And when this fragrance arrived, for the first few days, maybe even more than few days, I really could not put it down. It is so addictive and so stunning. Now, the main notes in here are dates, plums, cinnamon, and vanilla. And I won't go into too much detail about this one because I will be sharing it with you in more detail in my upcoming haul. But to give you a general idea of what this fragrance is about, it is definitely about dates, plums, and vanilla. When I first spray it on, I get more of a plum note with vanilla, kind of a strong punchy vanilla, and then as it develops on my skin, plums kind of go in the background and the dates are coming in more, and vanilla kind of settles down into sort of smoother and lighter vanilla. So for those of you that have tried these fragrances, to me, this is kind of a beautiful combination of Juliet Mad Nia, which is a fragrance about very sweet dates, and Nishan Ani, which has that beautiful, smooth, buttery vanilla. So it's kind of a beautiful marriage of these two fragrances that creates Rouge Soleil, at least in my interpretation of the scent. So again, although this is new, this has quickly become one of my absolute favorites, and I had to include it on this list. So this is the end of this tag. Again, thank you, Moon, for tagging me. I really enjoyed filming this tag, even if the choices were quite challenging. And I am going to tag some people in the description below, so definitely check it out to see if you've been tagged. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you soon in my next video. Bye!